Hi, I'm Maya from Bookworm Dreams and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to talk about all the books I got in the first quarter of the year and a bunch of books that I got for Christmas. So these are all the books I got from my previous book haul. Let's first start with the books I've read already or read before. I got The Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is my first book by this author. She's very famous for writing contemporary, basically Raylo fanfiction. And so this is The Bride. This is a paranormal romance between Misery, who is a vampire, and Lo, who is a werewolf. They have a marriage of convenience, and each of them gets into this marriage for reasons, and there's a whole mystery they're discovering and whatnot. When I read this book, I gave it 5 stars because it was so well done. I really enjoyed the world building because there's a whole very complicated world where vampires, humans, and werewolves were at war or in conflict constantly, and this marriage is sort of an opportunity for all of that to stop. So there are, of course, people who are like not interested in the war stopping, and there are, people trying to get revenge on stuff happening and whatnot. I really enjoyed this one. There was inklings of a sequel at the end. We'll see what happens, but yeah, had such a great time reading this book. The next book I got was Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. I read this, I think, last year. So in this story, we follow Mara, I believe, right? Yes. So basically, her sisters have been marrying this dude and then mysteriously dying. So she's now on a quest to rescue her, I guess, one remaining sister. And on this quest, she has several wacky companions that are just unusual and just bring a lot of humor in the story, even though the themes of this story are very serious. I mean, this story follows the typical T. Kingfisher formula, but I enjoy that formula. So when I saw this book at the bookstore, I knew I had to have it. So, I can reread it in moments of, when you need your slumps broken. Then we have Bone Shops. Then we have Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldry. This is the sequel to Legends and Lattes. Actually, it's a prequel in which we follow the main character from Legends and Lattes, Viv, as she sort of suffers her first major injury, and she's now left to recover in the city, and she makes a friend, and she helps that friend improve on her failing bookstore. And then stuff happens around it because there's a sorceress walking around doing stupid stuff and whatnot. But yeah, I had fun reading this. It wasn't as awesome as the first one. It was really enjoyable. If you're looking for a cozy fantasy read, this is definitely a book for you. And then this next book was I had to buy something because of reasons. So I got Iron and Magic by Ilona Andrews. Now, this is a book in which you follow one of the characters from the Kate Daniels series. I will not tell you which one because it's spoilery, but this is currently a standalone. Hopefully there will be sequels. We also follow, is it a Marriage of Convenience? So this dude is an important dude in the Kate Daniels series. And after the whole events of the Kate Daniels series, he sort of lost his sense of purpose and whatnot. So he's traveling around with his friends, being like a mercenary. So they get a job to protect this woman's castle. And for reasons, they have to pretend to be married, or they get married, like a marriage of convenience. So he protects her castle, and he like, I guess, gets to be married. I don't remember what was his deal. Oh yeah, basically, dude needs a base for his soldiers and whatnot. So yeah, the relationship between those two, it's not enemies to lovers. There's a giant dislike between them. Because of his past and what she's trying to do, but there's this one scene that I keep remembering. So at one point they're trying to prevent a giant conflict happening at their house, basically. So they're having this giant party with members of different factions so they can try to figure out what's happening. And at one point the woman, oh my god, I should know her name. What was her name? Alara. So Alara basically comes behind him and hugs him and kisses him. She's being all lovey-dovey with him, and he's like, well, excuse me, boys, I have to go, talk to my wife. And the moment they leave everyone's side, he's like, who died? And I keep thinking about that scene all the time. There's like a very good communication that happens between those two, and just following their relationship, of course, it turns romantic. From the beginning to that point was really fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to rereading this soon, and hopefully the authors will write the sequel because it's awesome. And now let's go to the books that I got but haven't read yet. So the first one is Combat Codes by Alexander Darwin. So this is an epic fantasy set in a world where basically all conflict between nations is dealt with in a fighting circle, pit, whatever. So each nation has their like champion, and if there's a conflict, they fight and stuff happens. So in this first book, I think this is going to be a trilogy, or already is a trilogy. We follow, what's his name? Murray, I don't know. He used to be a knight, but he lost, and now he's sort of disgraced, and now he's trying to find his replacement. And he finds it in this he's not a little boy. He's basically an orphan who is fighting in the underground fighting pits and whatnot. And then something happens, and they have to, there's lots of training in this one, I've been told. But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this out. This seems a bit different from stuff that I've read. I think the only thing I can think of that I've read that it's like more focused on this training stuff is maybe, oh my god, Evan Winter's Rage of Dragons. I think that's the book. Yeah. So yeah, I want to check this out because it also has a cool dragon thingy on the cover. Then I got Feybound by Sara El Arifi. I got this after I read The Final Strife, and I fucking loved The Final Strife, and I gave it 5 stars. I have no idea what this is about. I think there's Fae, because it's called Feybound. I don't know. It's something about the Fae. I know there's like a sapphic romance in it, I think. And yeah, that's all I know. But I'm looking forward to getting into it soon because I really enjoyed The Final Strife. Should read the sequel though, probably. But yeah, that's the reason I got it. And also cool cover. Then I got The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. So this is Sherlock Watson kind of a story in which we follow, what was it? A detective who is trying to figure out, there's a case, someone died, if I remember correctly from watching a bunch of people getting this recently, someone died and a tree grew out of their body. So yeah, there's magic, there's a Sherlock Watson dynamic, and yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to it because I saw a recent interview with the author and this sounds really interesting. Then I got last time I went to the bookstore, I had like a whole Sebastian de Castell thing, and I bought like all the books that I didn't have from the author. So basically all of these books are connected with the Great Coats series that the author has started and finished. So there are 4 books in that series, and then we have Tales of the Great Coats. So basically this deals with so the Great Coats, if you don't know, are like musketeers. Basically, they are magistrates of this world, and something has happened to kill their king, and they're now disgraced. And they're walking around trying to sort of uphold their philosophy and morals and whatnot. But there's lots of swashbuckling and just general, I don't want to say humor because, but there's tragedy and there's, there are a lot of dark themes in this one. But the author writes such great characters, and their friendships. So yeah, this is a collection of, I guess, short stories. I have no idea. Oh, 8 tales of the Great Coats, famed sword-fighting magistrates brought together by an idealistic young king only to be disbanded after his execution as a tyrant. Follow along through their swashbuckling adventures, their triumphs and defeats, their darkest hours, and their moments of shining redemption as they struggle to bring justice to a corrupt kingdom. Yeah, so collection of short stories of that. So that's the first one. I recently found out that the author continued with stories in this universe, but focusing more grandson of one of the characters we follow in the original series. So we have 2 books. We have Crucible of Chaos and we have Play of Shadows. So this is a prelude to the Court of Shadows. This is the new series in this world. Basically, we follow some dude who is the king's personal investigator of the supernatural, and I guess he does stuff. He gets a case to figure out something about monks, I see here. So some monks are dealing with demons and whatnot, which is not cool. So he has to go and deal with that. So that's book 1, that's the prelude. So I guess to give you an introduction into this new world. And then we follow, so in the Play of Shadows, we follow some other dude who is a failed actor. That's great. It says, and possibly the worst swordman ever born. Why is he in the story then? when his reckless attempt to rescue his grandfather from a duel pits him against the notorious fencer known as the Vixen. Okay, he escapes by sneaking into the legendary Operato Bellazza. Oh my god, he runs away from conflict to become an act, to join the circus or actors. Okay, so basically he's running away and then he stumbles into trouble. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to these. There are audiobooks out already for this, so yeah, hopefully soon. Then I have a book by a Croatian author. So this is Milena Benini's Mletački Sokol. How do you translate that into English? Sokol is hawk. Mletački is a town. I don't know how to translate this into English. So basically this is a sci-fi story. There are two worlds. So it's set in the future where the waters of Venice have risen and Venice basically doesn't exist anymore. There is a floating island that is basically catering to the rich, and then you have the slums. So if I remember correctly, the dude from the rich part of ex-Venice comes to the whatever. He's having fun somewhere and somebody shoots at him. So he basically runs away to the slum parts, and there he meets some dude, a young artist who works. What does he do? He makes souvenirs for the rich, and basically the two of them are trying to, I guess, figure out who tried to kill the rich guy, and also the poor guy is probably trying to get one of the benefits of the rich guy's, lifestyle. So yeah, I really do enjoy the cover. Look at the cover. Look how awesome this is. Then the last two books. So I have Jasad Air by Sarah Hashem. I probably mispronounced that. I'm sorry. So basically this is an epic fantasy. I know people have been, Goodreads put it in romantasy, but it's not. It's an epic fantasy and stuff keeps happening here. An unmissable tale of shattered kingdoms, forbidden magic, and cunning royals unfolds in this Egyptian-inspired epic fantasy debut. So yeah, look at this awesome cover. How cool is that? So yeah, this is on my Reddit Fantasy Bingo TBR for this year. So hopefully we'll be getting to this soon. And the last book I got, which I've waited for like months for this to get into a normal size mass market paperback. I got The Empire of the Damned by J. Christoph. So this is the sequel to Empire of the Vampire, in which we follow a vampire killer guy. Oh my god, I totally don't know his name. Gabriel. Yes. Basically, the first book we follow Gabriel, who is like the last silver knight. He was tasked with killing vampires. And he has been captured by the evil, I want to say queen, I don't remember. And he basically, in the first book, tells his story of his life, how he was born, his childhood, how he became the knight, his training and adventures and whatnot, with this giant secret of like, oh, we found the secret weapon to kill all the vampires, and now we have to deal with this. And this is the sequel to that. This book is humongous. But I do enjoy J. Christoph's writing. And they're usually, fast going, and there's lots of like cliffhangers and such to keep you going and whatnot. So yeah, really, really liked it. I think I like the cover from the first one better. This one has too much red in it, but maybe that's important to the plot. Yeah, so those are all the books that I got in the first quarter of the year. Hopefully I will be getting to them soon. I keep putting stuff on TBRs and not reading them, so yeah, we'll see what happens. If you've read any of the books that I have mentioned today and you want to share your thoughts, please do so down below in the comments. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, press the like button if you like this video, and that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!